Okay, second graders, here's your reading writing companion work, pages 62 and 63. We're going to listen to two more poems here, and then we'll go through our activities on the left-hand column and the right-hand column. Our first poem is called Nature Walk.
Nature walk. When you take a walk in the fall, leaves are like a blanket on the ground. They crunch under your feet with each step you take. When you take a walk in the fall, the air feels as cool as drops of rain on your cheek. It smells like clean cotton towels. When you take a walk in the fall, the outdoors will excite you. It's a wonderful time. By Sarah Miller.
Okay, this poem is broken into 3 stanzas. So we have a stanza here, and a stanza in the middle, and a stanza at the end. And this last stanza is only 3 lines. Now again, did you hear any rhyming words? No, this is called a free verse poem again. Okay, but they did use some figurative language. They used a simile, a couple of them here in this poem. Remember, a simile is figurative language where they use like or as to compare two things. I see the word as right here. The air feels as cool as drops of rain on your cheek. So they're comparing the air with drops of rain. Can you see another simile? Here's the word like. Okay, again, we're talking about the air and comparing it to cotton towels, how they smell. So remember, a simile is figurative language using like as. Go ahead and go to the next poem.
In the sky. Outdoors on a clear day, look up in the sky. What do you see there? Look, I see a giant polar bear. Look, I see a pale flower growing. Look, I see a buffalo and her baby. Wait, it's changing. Now I see a cowboy on his horse, galloping, galloping across the sky. I wonder where he'll ride. By Juanita Marco.
Okay, go ahead and see if you can remember inflectional endings. Remember, adding ing to the end of a word shows that the action is taking place right now. Can you find a word that has ing at the end? What is the flower doing? Growing. Changing. And how about the horse? Galloping, galloping. So inflectional endings are telling us about what is happening right now. They're describing what the speaker sees in the sky right now. So,
make connections. Which poem do you like the most? How does it excite you about nature?
Pause the video, go ahead right now, and you can reread these 2 poems to yourself. Talk about which poem you like the most, and then we'll go ahead and do the activities on the left and the right-hand side. Okay, Mrs. Austin finally got it up. So hopefully it didn't take too long for you. So the first thing, repetition. Circle the line that repeats and tells what the poet is describing in each stanza. So as you can see, each line, each first line in each stanza repeats. when you take a walk in the fall, when you take a walk in the fall, when you take a walk in the fall. Okay? So the author wants you to know that that's where you're at. That is the setting of our poem. He doesn't want you to forget that, or she doesn't want you to forget that. Okay? Now, also it says, draw a box around similes the poet uses to describe the air in the fall. We talked about these as we read them. Okay, so here's the two similes, one using as and one using like. We're comparing two things. Now, what are her concluding thoughts? So concluding means at the end. What are her thoughts at the end? So the outdoors are exciting. It's a wonderful time. So you can use exciting and wonderful time. So you can pause the video if you want to and go ahead and do that work. I'm going to move to the next one. On this one, we're going to circle what the poet sees in the clouds. So this is the theme on lines 4 through 8. So the poet sees a polar bear. The poet sees a pale flower growing, a buffalo and her baby, a cowboy on his horse. Those are the 4 things that the poet is seeing in the clouds. Now, what excites her about looking at the sky? What is she using? Right? She's using her imagination. Okay? They're not really a giant polar bear in the sky, but you can see the pictures. You can use your imagination. Okay? We do that along car rides a lot. Look in the clouds and see what you can see. Good. If you have a chance, go ahead and take turns reading the poem with a partner, older brother, older sister, mom. Okay, remember to use good fluency as you read. This is your reading writing companion work for Wednesday.